Rosamund, come on in.
Thank you.
Now that I know you a little bit, I'm still a little bit afraid of you, but that's okay.
And it's an empty movie theater.
I know. You see the orange chair? That's your FrontRunners chair. Rosamund, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
It's very nice to be here.
You know, it's been a while since you've wrapped Gone Girl now. Do you feel like Amy has still stuck with you all of these months later?
Yeah, it's funny. When we opened the film in New York, I felt it was right after that she really and truly left me, because although I said, oh, you know, I went to Hawaii after we finished shooting, and yeah, I think she left me behind then, I don't think it was quite true, because I then had to embark on this weird press tour where I had to keep all the secrets of the movie. I wasn't allowed to fully speak about it or reveal anything or even imply that I might not be the dead girl.
Right.
And so in a way I was just continuing to play Amy. I was still peddling duplicity and lies and sort of duping people, just as Amy does. So it wasn't until finally I could really talk about it after the end of September, and then I felt this kind of weight lift off my shoulders.
I'm sure you did. It's such a fantastic performance. It's earned you your first Oscar nomination, so congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
But my understanding is that one of your very first great theater roles as a younger woman almost didn't happen at all. Is that true?
Theatre was all I knew growing up. And in England, we have something called the National Youth Theatre, which is a kind of place that young people between 16 and 21 can meet and do their passion, exercise their passion, which is theatre drama. And you audition and you're part of a course, and it's like a sort of big summer camp, really. And after you've done the course for the first year, which is a lot of improv and a lot of kind of trust games, and you're then eligible to become part of the season. And I didn't get in. I didn't get in to be any part of the company, so I started temping, doing office work in an agency in Victoria in London. And suddenly one day my mum called and said, the National Youth Theatre are trying to get hold of you. And I rang up and they said, well, the girl we cast as Juliet has just been cast in a television show and our director would like you to be Juliet. And suddenly there I was, transported into this world. And since then, I've never minded being picked second, not being first choice, being the substitute. You know, less pressure sometimes to be number two.
So speaking of great roles to play, you got to play Amy Elliott Dunn, Gillian Flynn's fantastic lead character in Gone Girl. So let's take a look at one of your great scenes with Neil Patrick Harris from this movie. We can watch it together with these remotes. So we should tell people that Neil Patrick Harris's character is a bit obsessed.
He's a sort of butterfly collector, isn't he? Who's finally caught me in his net and has me in his clutches. Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Amy, it's time to move on. What can I do to help?
I need some time to think.
That's the last thing you need.
Desi.
20 years you have kept me dangling.
Okay, I'm stopping here because this is the perfect chance to talk about the look that Amy's rocking at this point in the movie. But what are we looking at here? Are we looking at padding? Are we looking at something that they put in your face prosthetic-wise, or did you gain the weight?
I had to gain and lose 12 pounds. That's what Gillian writes about in her book. That's what Amy does. She kind of hides inside her body as she goes on the run. It's partly to become less recognizable as her image is disseminated, as she becomes missing, the missing person's image, and she needs to hide, and partly as a kind of retaliation against the cool girl image that she's peddled for so long. So yes, I did have a diet of milkshakes and burgers, but then, as you know, many women relate to, the weight sort of went on my hips and my butt, which is less useful for the camera.
Right. Yeah, thanks.
So, you know, I gained the 12 pounds, but it wasn't necessarily where they wanted it. So we then did have to do a bit of padding. So it's a genuine mixture, but the authenticity is there underneath.
All right, well, let's keep watching and see how it goes.
Finally, last night, you came to me, and you chose me. Follow that instinct. Don't trust the instinct that left you beaten and homeless, sleeping in your car, fearing for your life.
This is a moment in the movie where you're kind of learning that someone else can play your game. Your husband, Nick, has gone on TV on this big interview and kind of spoken to you through the interview, and it's kind of setting you off a little bit.
Well, it's a brilliant moment, because obviously Amy unleashed this whole plan to accuse her husband of murder. He then goes on one of the biggest television shows and performs brilliantly and says everything she wants him to say. And the thing about Amy, because of her being this sociopathic creature, she doesn't care if the whole thing is a charade. It's the fact that he said it, and that is good enough for her. It's
Wow.
it's this take on relationships that it doesn't matter if you're acting, as long as it's a game I want you to play.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was what was so sort of chilling about her.
All right, well, let's see how it continues.
I'm not gonna force myself on you.
I love your face here because I feel like the wheels are turning.
It's very sparse writing by Gillian in this scene. It's a very interesting edit of the whole idea of this very twisted relationship. This is where she realizes that the cool girl that Desi wanted is not the cool girl that Nick wanted. So this is her realizing she's got to get back to the high school sweetheart that Desi had, and we're going to see her start to perform that creature.
Yeah, you're going to turn it on right about now. Push play.
I understand what you're saying, Desi. I do. I've been so mistreated for so long. I've forgotten how to behave.
And we just decided, Neil and I, that behave was just a word that was really going to turn Desi on.
Oh.
And of course it doesn't quite work because she hasn't yet got the face and the body back. But then,
she's got the voice.
You know, and it's just this idea. I was like, you see this line and you think, how am I going to get this to work? I've forgotten how to behave. And then you realize that it's not genuine. And of course, that's always the key to Amy. You think, how am I going to do this? Oh, it's not entirely genuine.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, here's some more of the scene.
I'll move in here tomorrow, and we'll work it out together.
Now here,
and of course,
you know you have him.
also, I know that him moving in is going to make me trapped because he is the butterfly collector. There's no man I know who's like Desi, who takes someone into this house and surrounds them with security cameras. And when she first moves in, he says, you know, you'll be utterly safe. You know, no one gets in or out.
Well, this is a great look for you here.
I just want you to be you again.
What are we going to do with this dark rat's tail that's surrounding your face?
And I love the music too there. It's just so foreboding.
You know what they worked on for that? David and Atticus and Trent Reznor took the idea of spa music, that music you hear when you go into a spa and it's just sort of benign, relaxing background music. And they've taken that and then really brought out all the sinister undertones. I'm so safe, I'm so safe. Oh, I'm really not safe at all.
Wow.
You know?
I love this moment in the movie. I think it's a turning point. Crazy stuff happens in the next few minutes, but this sets it all up. So it's great to see you, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Now, if you have not seen Gone Girl, be sure to check it out. And thanks so much for watching Fandango FrontRunners. To say thank you for being with us, we have made you your very own Amy Elliott Dunn Fandango gift card. So please take this and enjoy some movies on us with your friends and family.
Hey, that's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Thank you, Dave.
And so now we're going to take our picture. Follow
walk
me.
over? Okay.
Yeah. So stand with me here, and I'll do a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Love it. Thank you so much.
Good.
Great to see you.
Good.